Welcome everyone. In today's session, we will follow the last class that we created in the previous session, and we'll try to define more object-oriented programming blocks that helps us write more better classes, and we'll get introduced to the init and the self parameter. So in the last session, we got introduced to object-oriented programming, why to use object-oriented or programming. Then we had a comparison with the real-world analogy of blueprint and the objects. And then we just created a very basic class with the class attributes and what is the syntax for the object. In this session, we will build upon our understanding and write our first real class in Python. We will define what a class looks like, create objects using the class, and then explore the constructor method and instance variables that are unique to each object. We'll also understand the importance of the self parameter in every object method. So first of all, defining a class in Python. So we define a class in Python using the class keyword followed by the name and the colon. And right now the example we see here is in this the class does nothing. There is no value in it. We have just used the pass keyword, meaning there will be no functionality associated with this class. Think of it as an empty blueprint. And whenever we create any object from that class car and try to print it, it will show us something like output main.car object at something 0 xyz values. So these values are associated with the memory you have. So this is the location where your particular object is stored in the memory. And talking about one of the most important sections in your class, that would be the initialize constructor. So this is an constructor. So an constructor is what we define at the very start of the class with the variables that would be used by the class, and whenever we also inherit these variables will be get inherited to the next inherited class. So this particular init constructor method automatically runs whenever we create an object. So then in this, if you closely observe, the first parameter is a self parameter. So this self refers to the current object that is being created. So let's say I created an object my car equal to car. I passed in Toyota and red. So car, like this self value, you can think of it as referring to the new object that we are creating, that is my car, and Toyota will be the value for the brand, and red will be passed as the value for the color. uh, Inside this initialize constructor, now we create self dot brand and self dot color, and these values, we call it as instance variables, and whatever values we pass to like Toyota and red will be assigned to this self dot variables. So then in the further sections as we look, so like we're just trying to understand the importance of self here. So as I said, self refers to the current instance of the class. So without self, Python won't know which object's data we are referring to. So it's how an object will keep track of its own data. Every method in the class, like an init method, operates on an object that must take self as its first parameter. So let's say once we define the initialize constructor, the init, and we are passing self and brand, and then whatever particular function we define, so in that function, like let's say we are defining here define show brand, and in that I can simply pass self. So when I simply pass self, and when I will simply do my car dot show brand, it will automatically fetch the self dot brand variable based on the my car object that was created. So like here self means that we are referring to the object my car that has been created, and we like to fetch information for the self dot brand of the my car object. So that is how the self parameter works. So let's say to have a more clear picture. So this is how it works. So mica dot show brand, and it will, like, we don't need to pass any values to this particular uh it's like whenever we use the init function, so we do not need to use we do not need to pass any parameters, any arguments to this function. So in the previous session, we saw a case where we defined, let's say, class car, and that inside the class car, we directly defined something like, let's say, defined brand here equal to, let's say, Honda, and then I created an object, let's say I will name it obj1 equal to car, and also I will have obj2 equal to car, right? Now, I created obj dot let's say when I try to simply print out the object one's brand, I can simply use something like this. Then if I want to add any value to this, I can, let's say, add color equal to red, and then I can go on and print obj1 dot color. So this is what we saw in the last session. Now here you might still think that why we cannot use something like this and why we need to add the initialize constructor and the self method. So the answer is, let's say right now we had a very simple functionality like creating this brand value and the color value. So let's say I created this initialize function, and let's say, thinking of a real world case that let's say we have a database of cars, a new cars entry is added to the database, and whenever this particular class was created, we passed in all the values, and all the values are now stored in my init constructor. Now, let's say I have multiple values like this: self dot brand, self dot price equal to, let's say, 20, then self dot discount equal to 2. So all these values are defined here. Now let's say as a user or as a person, I might not know that what could be the particular function that I need to access to receive the value of discount or the final pricing. So what I can do is, let's say I can define something like define uh, final price, and then I can just simply use self, and I can, let's say, print final price, that is uh, self dot price minus self dot discount. And then if I can simply do my car dot final price. Now here in this case, you see it's printing 18. Now here in this case, I like when I have self here, it will automatically, like, my car will go here as a self, and all the data that is being stored under this init constructor, this particular function will be able to access all these particular values, and whatever functionality I have written under this particular function, that will be processed and it will return me the results. Now here in this case, I do not need to know like what number of like what number of values, what are the values particularly stored in my class under the init constructor. So this gives us the feature or the ability of encapsulation and abstraction, that we abstract out the functionalities here, and we just want to show the final calculations directly based on the functionality. Like once the class is defined, we can just call this function and can fetch data directly here instead of first fetching the price, then fetching the discount, and then creating our final value. We can simply call our object with dot final price, and it will automatically process the values for us, right? So this is why we need the init and the self functionality here. Then object attribute. So we can access instant variables using object attribute. Different objects have different values, even though they are based on the same class. So this is we have already discussed in the last session how to accept and object attribute, and how we can access this object attribute using object dot the particular name of that particular object attribute, and we will be able to access that object's value. I mean the object attribute's value. So the difference here would be whenever you are using any function from the class, we end that with an round brackets or parenthesis. While we are just trying to access a variable, we simply use dot notation, dot name. We do not add any brackets at the end. So in today's session, we saw like the skeleton of a class, how objects are created with the init constructor, and understood the importance of the self variable, which is essential for any method that works with object-specific data. And we also just saw the very minimal difference between accessing the the object attributes, and how to access any function defined with the self parameter. In the next session, we will have a look at instance methods and the class variables. So we'll define methods inside classes and differentiate data that belongs to single object versus data shared across multiple objects, that is the class variables. We will see when to use and decorators like at the rate class method and at the rate static method. So yeah, thank you for joining today's session. Let's meet in the next session. Have a nice day.